Good morning, traders. This is Chris Pavlik. It is December 13th, 2011. This is the home page for our website, www.failuretotradetheplan.com, and we provide traders with an intraday score counting tool to identify the best trends in stocks during the day. This system is unique. There's nothing out there that's similar, and our track record can show you various examples based on our technique. Go to our website, look at the system picks, read some of the daily thoughts for the past couple weeks, and you get a perspective on what we try to do. We combine multiple time frames, looking at 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute data, basically looking for price expansion and continuation using various technical indicators such as momentum, ADX, and things of that nature. Here you can see the trading windows. On the left side you'll see count up 1 point open, count up 1.7 points open. On the right, count down 1 point open, counter down 1.5 from the open. So we're looking for a momentum shift and a continuation after that move. A stock can open lower and reverse and move higher, and it'll come up in the upper count. A stock can open higher and move lower, and it will continue to show in the down count. Our objective is to focus on the lead counts, okay, because every time a stock is moving in the direction of the trend, it increases its score. And at the end of the day, the stocks with the greatest score are the ones with the most significant trends. You never know how things are going to turn out in the beginning of the day. We usually don't trade the open. We'd like to see some of the behavior of the early morning tell us what's going to be happening next. But we're going to be opening shortly, and let's follow along. You can see in pre-market the S&P is gapping up a little bit. We're at 124.80. We've pulled back from the highs, minor move, and we'll see if we can establish a continuation from yesterday's afternoon's brief rally that's unfolded late in the day. Not much to talk about yet. It's now 9:34. We're seeing Google gapped up, and it's moved up a couple points off of its open, but it's a very high price stock. You know, most people don't like trading $600 stocks. Nothing else has really revealed itself of significance. We're seeing a little bit of a bump up in the oil stocks. You can see PXD was also a gap up, 89 to 90, and it could show some follow through here and be a gap and go play. We're seeing OIH, also the oil ETF, showing some counts of significance on the 1 and 2 minute. A lot of these are follow-throughs from yesterday afternoon's rally, which was taking place between 3 and 4, and we'll see if it can hold up this morning. It's now 9:37. We're seeing some breakdown in FDS, moving down hard from an opening around 94. It's down at 92. You can see the counts are significant. You can see Google is still continuing higher, OIH continuing upward. It's early. Sometimes we want to wait until 9:45 before we establish any positions whatsoever, depending on the true market trend of the S&P and the NASDAQ. But this is what's happening early on. Gives you some perspective on how the counter is working. Here you can see the S&P. You know, it's on a gap up this morning. The trend started to unfold late in the day. You can see the basing formation right here. Here's an initial breakout, maybe a 30-minute high, and some continuation, and then we open with a follow through this morning. We're getting a little bit of continuation off that. It's not robust. Some of the bigger names are moving, the high price names, but higher highs, higher lows, and we're going with the flow at the moment. You can see OIH is continuing on. It's 9:41, and the counts are still increasing. Stock's moving higher. Apple's continuing to move higher. NOV, another oil stock. So the oil sector is strong at the moment. You can see how Priceline has a score down here of about 30,646. It is up $5, and I'll pull up a chart just so you can get a perspective on that. You can see yesterday afternoon broke out along with the S&P and the Nasdaq, and it's continuing higher this morning. 474, 480. So that's what we're looking at. The oil sector is starting to pick up some steam. It's now 9:45. OAH continues higher. You can see some of the other names in the same group. UCO, which is the pro shares, moved up from 41.20 to 42.80. And if you know any of these tickers, you can just sort of see PXD, SM, NOV, DVN. These are all oil-related service stocks on the upside. That's what we're focusing on today. Want to stay with the lead counts. That's where your objective is. These are the names showing the greatest momentum, greatest continuation off the open. It is now 9:47, 9:47:59. As you can see on the downside, we're seeing continuous counts in Baidu and Amazon, which are showing weakness off the open, and we're seeing strength in the oil stocks. Here's the chart of OIH, and you can see it was a gap and go play from this morning. It's one of our lead counters, moving up 1850, now 1950. We ride the bands. These are the 8-period moving averages of the open and the close. We look for a cross of the bands, and then we look for price expansion continuation, higher highs, higher lows. It's a combination of several indicators, looking at directional movement, ADX, momentum. It's all combined into one score, so you can be aware of what's happening within the market by looking at the count and isolating where the best opportunities lie. So here we have it. We can see 950-134, Amerada Hess continuing up, DVN continuing up, and Amazon and Baidu are also continuing lower. Here's the chart on Amazon, so you can see what happened to it. It gapped down off the open, rallied up to resistance, and started to pull back. And the counts will identify the names moving in the direction of the trend as the trend continues. So as you can see, it's moved down from 189, it's now 186.50. Still below its bands. We love when they ride below both bands. That keeps you in the trade. As long as the count is increasing, the stock's making lower lows, we stay with the move. You can combine that with maybe a parabolic SAR, stop and reverse. So as you can see, you stay with that move all the way down until you get some kind of major reversal. So basically in the first 30 minutes of trade, we kind of have a mixed market. We've got weakness in the tech sector with Amazon and Baidu leading the way down, and we have strength in the oil service sector with various names leading the way higher. from OIH to Apache to EOG to DVN. You can pick and choose. They're all going up. And this trend could reverse itself at any time, but as long as the count is increasing and the names are making higher highs and higher lows, we stay with the trade and we let it run. Here is Apache. You can see it's moved from 95 off the open to 96.50. See how the bands are separated from one another. If the stock is continuing to make higher highs, it might form a base here and continue higher. It's been the first 30 minutes of trade, and the oil service stocks have led the way. I like to use the combination of a 1 or 2 minute time period and combine that with momentum, which I'll pull up here so you can see. When the momentum on the 12 period crosses below the 0 line, or the stock moves back into its moving averages, I usually take the profits and move on. Here's the same thing with Baidu. Kind of opened mixed and started to reveal itself as it was making lower lows here. From maybe 127, it's now a little below 125. The momentum is below 0. It's continuing to go lower, and it's one of the lead counters on the downside. So as you can see, we talked about this earlier, the oil service stocks are leading the way higher this morning. The move started yesterday afternoon, late in the day, and we got a gap up this morning, and we're getting a continuation move. So you can see this is Oxy, 91, now 94, and it's pretty much the same for all the names within the group, all up about $2 or so. Schlumberger, Oxy, Chevron, etc., etc. And they will come up in the count. If the stock is moving, the stock is counting, it will stay up in the system. So that's the plan, basically. The idea is to focus on the top counts. We give you the plan. It's in front of you. It enables you to focus, so you don't have to think about which names to trade next. And follow the plan, and you will do well. This window is all the stocks that are up at least $1 from the open. This window is all the stocks that are up $1.70 from the open.